welcome. We're here today to talk about getting your business focused back in 2021. What brings us here today is the ASBAS Digital Solutions Program, which is a digital advisory service providing direct education and mentorship from digital experts to assist Australian small business and to build their digital capabilities. So welcome. You've all been introduced to this program from here. You've probably already registered, which is why you've got a link to this webinar. So welcome. It's really fantastic to have you here. What the ASBAS Digital Solutions Program can bring you is a range of workshops or webinars and online materials, which is what we're going to be presenting here today. You can also get up to 4 hours of 2x2 sessions of digital mentoring from an expert in this space. So if you haven't taken up this opportunity, I highly recommend you do, because it is an incredible program that allows people to get affordable or low cost mentoring for their business. This is brought to us by the incredible people at Melbourne Innovation Centre and the Australian government. So thank you, everyone. Quickly, a little bit about me. My name is Sandwith, and I'm a business and brand strategist with digital expertise. I'm the managing director of a business called The Good Hands. I've got 20 plus experience working in government, technology, corporate, creative sector, small business, technology startups. I've got a really, really broad breadth of experience, and it's really exciting that I can share that with people. What you can also do is through the mentoring program, you can get one-on-one customizable mentoring from me, and that can help you transition through COVID and hopefully to a long and successful future in your small business. So I'm just going to quickly cover off a few things here, and then I'm just going to flip my screen again. I'm sorry if this is not the most streamlined way that we usually do things, but because of the technical glitch that we've got with the slides today, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to cover today is we're actually covering identifying the priorities in your business and what is important to your business. So when you're trying to get your business focused back, the most important thing is really understanding, well, what is important and why. The next thing we're going to cover off is how to seek inspiration and get your mojo back, how to get your passion, your energy, and that your creative self back into your business. And then what we're also going to do is work out what are opportunities for growth and how you can seek them out. So just 1 second. I'm just going to stop this screen share for a minute, and I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Fantastic. So thank you to Francisco, who's now just uploaded the presentation screen for me. Yay. Woo, we very rarely have a hitch with these. So it's great to have tech support in the background. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you haven't introduced yourself, please do. Tell me a little bit about your business, where you're located, what brings you here, because I like to tailor as much of my content to businesses as I possibly can, because after all, this is about you. So thank you again, and thank you to our incredible tech team and Francisco for helping to get this live. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about it. Who feels a little bit like this after they've been recovering from the challenging year that was 2020? I certainly am. It was a big year for lots of reasons, not just COVID, but the way that we've worked has changed. Zoom fatigue is a real thing. No irony here that we're sitting here talking and communicating together through Zoom or through a webinar. But yeah, the recovering has been something that people are struggling with. So we know that we can't run our businesses the way we did pre-COVID. We just know that that's not possible. People in large organisations can't have their teams together to collaborate. We now need to use digital technology a lot more than we ever did in a way to connect with each other. Many of us find it hard to focus with continued changes and disruption. So with, lockdowns and rolling lockdowns occurring, people find it really hard to build that momentum back up, to keep themselves resilient and strong, because they've had so many impacts on their business. Catalina's saying, yeah, this is exactly how I feel. And you know what? This is why we're bringing you this presentation, because it is very common for all businesses, not just small businesses, to feel that fatigue and strain from last year. And it's still carrying over this year as we may have rolling lockdowns continuing. It's easy to lose your business mojo. And once it's gone, it's difficult to get back on track, particularly when there's so much stopping and starting. So this is a place for us to all gather and to see if we can help inspire each other to keep moving forward. So life as a business owner is extremely rewarding. Most of you would know that, but the long hours and working alone can be isolating. I know that a lot of small businesses and micro businesses that I work with have struggled during lockdowns, because even though they're used to working by themselves, some of the things that they would have done previously, like maybe going to a cafe or a co-working space or catching up with a colleague, they've not been able to do it. So bouncing those ideas with them has been a real challenge. It's really tricky to stay motivated when it's just you, your laptop, and an unending to-do list. I'm actually in a partnership in my business, and we do have a small team, but I know that when it's just me, or when I was at home with my family during lockdowns last year, I did feel that big overwhelm, because my to-do list was endless. It was absolutely endless, because there was like what I can do now, what I can do when lockdowns are finished, what did I miss before that? So I understand that overwhelming fatigue, and hopefully I can impart some tools for you today to help you get your mojo back. So how can we bring the magic back into our business? Many of us start businesses because we're really passionate about an idea and we believe it will be something that we can make money from. It's quite common for people to lose that chemistry that they had with their business, and a situation like COVID and really big disruptions can also cause that. So it's really important to understand that it's normal, but it is possible to regenerate that feeling. How can we work towards feeling less overwhelmed and find new opportunities? New opportunities can reinvigorate a business, and part of that is we already sort of touched on that we can't do business the way we've done it previously. COVID has changed that. We all have to think about different ways to do things. So what are those opportunities to help you not feel overwhelmed and less lonely? So let's talk about it. How are we going to prioritize in 2021? So we're into March. Most people sort of cruise through January, maybe start thinking about what they need to do in February, and come March, people are like, right, I actually need to do something now. Like, we're a third of the way into the year. Let's crack on. This is the time. So it's time to set some goals for your business. We don't want to focus on too many areas, because that will continue to give you that massive overwhelmed feeling. We really want you to focus on areas that you can be specific about. So just pick 3 or 4 areas in your business that you want to focus on. I'll give you an example. In our business, we have gone through a big rebranding project, and building a website from scratch is a big project. So that is one area we are focusing on. We're not focusing on optimizing our digital marketing strategies beyond that. We're focusing entirely on the website as one area of focus. Then there's other service delivery ones and other things, but only focus on 1 or 2 goals. And there's a reason for that, which we'll touch upon. If you struggle with setting goals or prioritizing in your business, what I want you to do is write a list of things that will promote growth in your business. So in our case, it's the website. So we're building a new website. We're working with a great team of designers to get it absolutely right, because it will prove growth for our business, because we've gone through a rebrand, our identity has changed. We need to actually set that vision forward. So if you find it really hard, write a list of things that you think will help promote your business. So there'll be many other things that you can do, but it could be something like this. Get an e-commerce website set up. So if you're someone that had a bricks and mortar shop and you're finding that you just haven't got the foot traffic like you used to, maybe it's setting up an online shop. Or maybe it's upskilling in photographing your products. Maybe that's a priority. Maybe that's something that you've noticed in your business, that you are not as good at photographing as you possibly could be. Maybe that's a goal, that if you don't want to outsource that to someone, you improve on that. It could be improving your social media, Or it could be getting a new staff member. Some of the mentees that I've worked with, some are growing and they've come to us not because they're struggling with COVID issues, they're actually struggling with growth. They're like, well, can I even afford to get a new staff member? So if that's something that you want to focus on, think about that. And maybe it could be something like this. If you're in a service-based industry, maybe you want to work on more long-term work and less small projects. Have a think about it. What is something that you want in your business? Has anyone spent any time setting some goals for their business this year? I'd love to hear them. If you want to share them with us, that would be great. This is the time. Setting some goals for yourself is a great way to start getting your mojo back. There's something else that when you're trying to get your mojo back is not taking on too much. So consider the 80-20 of workload. So 80% of your work contributes less than 20% of its value. Focus on the most important 20% in order to prioritize. So don't focus too much on work that doesn't contribute value to your business. The way I do this, and I'm not absolutely perfect at this, but this is what I remind myself. I spend 4 days working with clients or on projects like this, 4 days on this. Billable work, let's talk about it in that context. And then there's another day of the week that I spend working on the business. So it might be working with the people on our website, or it might be working on business development. So think about the value of the work that you do. And it's quite, when you're already under a lot of strain and you're feeling like you've lost your magic, we all have a tendency to lean toward the work we like. It's really important that you set yourself some goals. And if it's a financial goal particularly, make sure you try and balance out that 80-20 workload so you know that you're doing things that are of value to the business and to yourself. So the way I also like to approach it is weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals. I've certainly got 5-year goals, but those 5-year goals I'm not really chasing now. The weekly goals, the monthly goals, and the quarterly goals all contribute to the 5-year plan of my business. When I talk about plans, I also want you to be aware that I'm not talking about developing a ridiculously unwieldy Word document that, is 60 pages that's going to be buried in your hard drive. I'm talking about a little bit of a mood board. I have Post-it notes above my desk. Hugely unattractive, but it works. So I'll have my weekly goals, my monthly goals, and my quarterly goals. So my weekly goals is I have to finish some presentations and some quotes, and I have to finish a key piece of work that I need to deliver for a client. So they're sort of business developments and work deliverables, and then I look at business development, which is the quoting. Then monthly, I want our website to be in with the developers by the end of the month. So by the end of the month, it's going to be in with the development team actually being coded. So that's a goal there. And then quarterly, it will be moving on with a broader marketing plan. So stepping through things incrementally so I'm not overwhelmed and feeling like I have to do everything. Use lists, keep yourself accountable. I don't have it in front of me. I'm actually working from home today because I have a sick child in the other room, but I use notebooks. I know some people use their smartphone and keep lists in that because you can sync it between your phone and your computer. I like good old-fashioned pen and paper, and I like to see by the end of the day, before I switch off my computer, I have a highlighter and I highlight what I've done. And if there's stuff left over, I write a new list and carry it over. I do this every day. It's a discipline for me, but it's a way for me to keep myself accountable and also keep me going, is that the right priority? Remember that the only way to get things done is forward. You actually have to do it. So think about ways that work intuitively for you. Lists keep me accountable. They keep a lot of people accountable. I would consider, when you're setting some goals, weekly, what can you do weekly? I mean, I'd love you all to share with me, what is a weekly goal that you have? Is it getting a quote out? Is it putting a piece of art up in your shop? Is it what? And it doesn't have to be huge. A weekly goal might be, I want to go and have some networking coffees with someone, or I want to build some mental health tools into my everyday work, or be more structured with my lunch break. I'm guilty as anyone of eating through work. I'll eat my lunch while I'm working. but that's not really good for getting my mojo back, because part of your mojo is also about having some balance and respect for yourself outside of your job. But I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to do that. So the next bit about this is really important. Understanding if it is important to your business. What is the key factor in deciding what is important for your business? It's you. In case you didn't realize, you are the most important aspect of your business. The most important part of a business is the people that are in it. You possess the qualities necessary to keep things moving, even in tough times. And if anyone hasn't told you, you're doing a great job. Running a small business is incredibly challenging, incredibly rewarding, but it's an amazing thing to do. So congratulations for being that person that is doing that. And you're really important to the business community and to your business. So here's something that I do a lot of coaching and mentoring, and there's a question that I'm going to give you an anecdote about something that happened to me years ago, and then I'm going to refer back to this slide. Years ago, many moons ago, I was made redundant from a job, and as part of the redundancy package, I was given some business coaching and a few other things as part of the package. And I'm like, look, I'll take any opportunity I can. You never know what opportunities will lead. And I had 2 small children at the time, and I had just started my own business after this redundancy. And the coach really didn't take into consideration who I was as a person or what my own personal limits were. And I don't feel like I actually think I can do anything, but it's more when you have small children and budgets, it's not possible to scale at all costs. And that's pretty much the kind of coaching it was, which was, well, you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it. And I'm like, well, I have a newborn and a toddler at home. It's actually not that easy. It's not actually possible for me to do it all and work 50 hours and be around for small children. And it really set something in my mind at that point about what is the definition of success for a small business. And I impart this to everyone that I mentor. Define success by your own parameters, not by someone else. So understanding what is important to your business is very personal to you. It is not about what a business coach or anyone else will tell you. So for you, start with the basics. Does it make me money? Is that what's important to your business? Do I enjoy it? Does it give me life balance? Do I even want to do it? Is there part of your business that you don't want to do anymore? Why are you doing it? Ask yourself. This is the foundations of getting your mojo back. You may say, I'm doing this thing in my business and I really hate it. I actually hate it, which is something we did last year. We went, I hate that part of our business. It brings me no joy. In fact, whenever people want us to do it, I just feel terrible because it wasn't something we enjoyed. And there's certainly parts of my job I don't enjoy, but what I want you to understand is that you have the power over understanding what is important in your business. So of course, making money is important, but it's also that balance, isn't it? Like, does it make me happy? Do you want to make money and not be happy and not see your family or your friends or get adequate sleep? Probably not. Ask yourself why you're doing it. You are the most important aspect of your business. You make the decisions. No business coach, no Instagram feed that sends you sort of inspirational quotes. It's actually you. You make the decisions. If you can find the balance between doing something that you love and enjoy, and it might be that you get to spend time with great clients or great people, that's the definition of success. And that's what can bring back that spirit and mojo in your business. So ask yourself, you'll get these slides afterwards, but if you want to take one screenshot right now, I'll do this one. Ask yourself those questions. Why am I doing it? Does it give me what I want? Why did I even start a small business? I started a small business because I thought it would give me a work-life balance, which it really didn't, because I'm deeply passionate about the success of my clients and the people that I work with. So I actually have to be more flexible than I ever had. I can't switch off at night. So that for me is the trade-off. So I know the downsides, but it's about understanding that. And then you can find that kind of chemistry and magic for your business again. Is this making sense? I hope so. Great. So let's see, what we need to do is prioritize these things early on, and it will help your business thrive. Is this making sense? It's not all about money. It's about, why do you want to do it? Is there bits you want to not do? Is there stuff you want to let go? Do you want to put money aside and outsource it? Prioritizing these things early on will help your business thrive. And thriving doesn't necessarily mean money. Yeah? Thriving means you. You are the most important part of your business. Totally. I'm really glad, because when I had that awakening myself, when I had a very bad business coach who was telling me, go, 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 I had to come back and go, actually, no, that's what you expect of me, because that's the message that the business community sort of sends out to business owners and entrepreneurs. But really, I have a financial goal, but I also have goals around what my business stands for, the kind of clients that you want to work with, the kind of customers you want to attract. This is where you get your mojo back. And I can guarantee you, once you start connecting that to your business, the money will come. I mean, your money will come because you're putting hard work into action. But once you start asking yourself, I'm the most important part of my business, what makes my business successful? What makes it successful is that I can be at school assembly, or I can go visit my mum on Wednesdays and pick her up from bingo, or whatever it is, whatever that is in your life. When you think about the most important part of your business is not making money, it's actually you, the money will come because you see it differently. And you get the magic back and you fall in love with your business again. So I hope my anecdote made sense. It seems to, but that's the most important part. When you want to get focus back, you've got to focus on yourself. So let's get that mojo back. Look at that feeling. I can feel that, her blowing that magic. It makes me feel like, yes. You know, when you have a really great day at work and you get the chills, like you're like, yes, I love when that happens. Or, those kind of excited feelings, that's what we want. And we can't have it every day. But what we want to do is get it back, because we lost a lot of focus last year because we were just dealing with a 1 in 100-year event. So COVID may have dulled some hopes, but it is important that we take responsibility for ourselves and our business. So we just talked about the most important part of your business being you. It's not money. It's not stock. It's not the building. It's not your computer. It's actually you. Because without you, you can't do anything. It's hard to keep focused when there is no one checking in on you. So don't worry, you're not alone. We're actually here together. And this is a community. And even though I can't see your lovely faces or hear your voices, you need to understand that a lot of businesses and a lot of business owners are feeling this too. Brooke just said, just wanted to say it's really helpful to hear that others struggle with motivation through January and February too, and I've been feeling really guilty. I'm sorry you're feeling guilty. I think that one of the things that you also need to remember is that it's the event that we've all lived through. I think by the time Christmas hit, everyone was just so exhausted they wanted to stop. I know I certainly did. It's probably one of the first Januaries in a long time that I've had pretty much the whole month off. And I usually feel guilty about it, but this year I was like, I actually need it. I wouldn't have coped. But it's interesting because I feel like now it's March, we have a lot more inquiries in relation to people wanting some business coaching or mentoring, because they're like, okay, I've had my break and I feel like now I need to take the next step. So please don't feel guilty. Understand that we lived through an experience we had no reference point for. And we were still expected to act like nothing was really going on a lot of the times. Just keep the businesses going and just keep your children educated and just make sure that, you got enough groceries and toilet paper. That existential worry and fatigue knocked a lot of our energies out. You're not alone. You're actually not alone. So Lynette's saying she's impressed that I check my list and highlight at the end of the day, because I work with a nightly review, which is what you were basically doing, filling into what you did, how you went, etc. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. And also, like, you can reprioritize it. Go, oh, why am I even focusing on that? Because priorities change every day. You might get a phone call that takes precedent. It's a great way for me to keep myself accountable and get stuff done. I highlight what's completed. I don't know why. It's more like to reward myself. I could like strike it out, but the highlight is like a reward for me. Like, yay, you did that one. You did that one. Any way you can feel grateful for yourself and what you achieve, even if it's something small, feel that gratitude. Like, we don't have that boundless energy all the time. I certainly don't. And I'm hugely ambitious and I am a big achiever. But sometimes I like to reward myself just for the little things, just for showing up. You've got to also be kind to yourself. Don't compare your journey to others, because other businesses do things differently. And if it's right for you, you go, great, look at me. I just did one thing today. Woo! I've got sick kids this week. It's like, wow, if I can get through a few meetings and, and they're not sick. It's just that because of COVID-19, I can't send them to school with a drip of snot hanging off their noses, so I have to keep them home. But know that you're not alone. This is, there is comfort in knowing that we're sharing this together. So when you start a business, you generally enter a bubble of isolation, particularly because we're mostly, sole traders or small businesses that don't have other levels of management. The life and success of your business hinges on your ability to see beyond the bubble. Yeah? What is happening outside of my bubble? Things we want to return to are our creativity, our passion, our energy, and our commitment. It takes deep commitment to a business, doesn't it? It's like a job as well, but with a business, it's a bit more personal. If you have staff, they don't treat it the same as you do. Then they won't, because they don't have that same commitment to it. Energy, we just touched on that in the chat, that no one had the energy in January and February. We're all like, oh God, I'm so fatigued by these existential changes we're going through. What is it? That passion that keeps you going, and that creativity that fosters change and innovation for you and your business every day. So in order to get your mojo back, don't panic. I've got some steps for you. So let's sit back and work out how you can do it. Simplify your life. People, this is the first bit. Pick 3 things today. Write them on a Post-it note. Focus on the Post-it note as the priority. What's going to make the most positive difference to your business? Make these 3 tasks your top priority and dedicate your focus to these alone. So is it finishing a piece of work? Congratulations, you have all made the decision to empower yourself with knowledge and skills today by attending this webinar with a community of like-minded business. Cross that off your list. Highlight it off your list if you like. Reward yourself for showing up. Simplify it. You don't have to attend a 2-hour webinar and then go, okay, now I've got to smash through all this other stuff. 3 things. Today it's 3 things. Attend a webinar, answer an email that's going to potentially give me new work, something else. What is going to make a positive difference? I hope this webinar makes a positive difference to your life and your business, and you get some of that energy back, that passion, that creativity, that commitment. This is how you start. Keep it simple, baby. That's what you got to do. We overcomplicate things, and I think it's because we live in a really complicated world, but we've also have, our brains aren't able to actually manage that degree of complexity at all times. Step through this with a simple approach. Now focus on one bad thing. Sorry, got to do the bad work with the good. That one task you've been avoiding, it's time to go. So if you're going, oh God, I've got to really do something about my Instagram feed, or I really need to do something about, that bill I haven't paid, but I've just been avoiding that tax thing, or whatever it is. Work on that one task until it's done, and then revel in the glory of its completion. I revel in the glory of completion by using highlighters. It just makes me feel better about completing something. By seeing a little splash of color on my white notebook, that's how I do it. You might reward yourself with a walk around the block or a cup of tea or moving on to the good things. Complete things. I can't stress enough that we were talking a little bit about guilt, and guilt's a whole other sort of psychological minefield that we all have to wrangle at some point in our life. But when I've got the things on my to-do list that I want to be on the to-don't list, I generally tackle them first, because it's a bit like, when you're a kid and you eat all your vegetables, then you're rewarded for dessert. With dessert, treat it like that. Do that thing that has to be done first. It might be a phone call you don't want to make, or responding to a nasty email, or, think about it that way. Focus on that one bad thing. You don't have to do hundreds of bad things a day. Don't put yourself through that, but just do it. They sap your energy. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it takes a lot, like I had to have a really difficult phone conversation with someone 2 weeks ago, and I put it off for a few days because I wasn't mentally ready. I was feeling a bit down, and I had some stuff going on at home, and I just was like, you know what, that call can wait, because I have to focus on me too. I'm going to get to it. It's on my to-do list, and I am going to focus on that bad thing, but it's also about being ready and able to do it. So maybe the other bad thing might not be doing that hard phone call. It might be sending your accountant some information or whatever. We all kind of define bad things by our own kind of reference points. It might be, I used to hate kind of dealing with the accountant, because it was just like, oh God, I have to think about numbers. That's really stressful. That was stressful to me. But now I have a really great accountant who just tells me what I need to do. And I'm like, whoa, he's easy. So for me, he's become a good thing, because he's put better structure into my business and has given me clarity about my business. He's helped me focus on my mojo. Get energized. I know this sounds like, and I don't want this to be too self-helpy, but this is real talk here, folks. Energy is the fuel for your creativity. So choose the right fuel for your creativity. Exercise, get proper sleep, eat good foods, take a break. This is actually one of my goals for this for this business year, is I need to take proper breaks. I will get to my desk at 9 o'clock after I've dropped my kids off at school, and I will not leave it until 5 p.m. unless I'm in meetings with clients. I have a very bad habit of eating meals at my desk and not taking adequate breaks. I noticed that it has impacted on my health and my energy and my passion. So what I try and do now, even if I can't afford a full 30 minutes away from my work, I will walk around the block and get a bit of sun on my face, or a bit of cold air on my face, or I'll just, we have stairs in our work office. I will go up and down the stairs. I'll use the kettle downstairs and not the one upstairs. So I'll do different things to try and take a break. This is an area I need to focus on more. And the reason being is I lost a little bit of my muse last year, a lot of it actually, and it's something that I'm working on outside of work as well. I'm happy to share all of this with you, but my business started because my hobbies, sort of melded into my business as part of our service offering. So the things that I did for pleasure outside of work, like writing and photography, are things that we now have factored into our business. And so I don't have that outlet outside of work to create. And that creativity that you do outside of work, incidentally, fuels your business creativity. And creativity, I'm not talking about crafting or knitting. I'm talking about creativity in your ideas and how you can energize your business. I can't stress enough that having a poor lifestyle, particularly around COVID, is probably not going to help this bit of you unless you actually do that work as well. Exercise, walk around the block. Do some standing meetings if you can. I'm really trying to focus a lot more on this in my year. I'm really good at all the other stuff, like the listing the good and doing the one bad, and I'm actually really good at that. I've got a great discipline there. This section, not so good. And I know when I do focus on it, the magic pours out of me at work, and my clients feel it, and my family feels it, and my business partner feels it. This is important, and we often neglect to do it. And I'm imagining there's people in this room today who are parents, who are very time poor. We often neglect ourselves. I know I was supposed to go for a 6 a.m. walk with a girlfriend this morning, which I cancelled because my daughter was up all throughout the night. So it was like, you know, the trade-off. But I know without that right fuel for me, and fuel being adequate and proper sleep health, these things can impact on your business. And I know COVID last year, we all probably ate the wrong things and we weren't moving because we couldn't go anywhere. So now it's time to change those habits as we move forward to get the energy back into our business. Because it's about you, your business. You know, 10 slides earlier, you are the most important part of your business. Get inspired. So this is something we forget every day in our business. Step away from your business and use the time to fuel your business elsewhere. Podcasts or TED Talks, mood boards, take a holiday, take that break, or find a creative pastime or interest outside of your business. I can't stress this enough. Some people go and play sport, and because they're fulfilled outside of that, they bring that back to their business. You are the most important part of your business. Think about that. So if you do exercise and you want to walk, maybe incorporate a business podcast into your routine so you feel inspired as you move. Create mood boards. I am huge on Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my favorite apps because I create mood boards for clients. I create mood boards for home. And it's a way for me to collect information to inspire me. It doesn't take much to do that. So I've got ideas about cooking. I've got ideas about our redesign that we've been working on at work. I renovated my home last year. So we spent, I've got 50 mood boards for each room. There's different ways you can do it. If you like a more tactile approach and not a digital approach, get a pin board and just cut out pictures and use swatches of colors and things like that to help fuel your mood. You might not have a specific project in mind. You might just like it. You might like it. And that's okay. If it inspires you, it doesn't always have to have a purpose. But the best way to fuel creativity is by applying that, like an idea to something. So I'm just going to create a mood board because I feel like I like all those colors, or I like house plants, or I like fabric. Think about it that way. Exercise or book clubs are a way to do that. Use your time outside of your business to fuel yourself, or fill that tank up. Also, look for the positive feedback. It's a healthy business habit to keep all your positive customer feedback and client testimonials in a place. You could gather them in a lovely folder, or even have some on your wall or your pin board. So last year, when our business went through a rebrand, before we did that, we actually created a survey, and we got some customer feedback. And we sent it to 10 very distinct clients, and all very different, and to get some feedback. And there was an opportunity for them to give us negative feedback as well, but it was resoundingly positive. And we really cherished that feedback because it made us realize we were on the right track and we're doing something valuable and important to other people, which is one of the values in our business. Is it important? Is what we're doing important and valuable to other people? That's part of that's where we get our satisfaction. That's where we get our mojo back. It's that kind of circular thing, getting that feedback from your business. Some people use Google. Some people use Google as a way to get reviews on their business, or Facebook reviews. So make sure that you use that as an opportunity to gather feedback. Who knows any good information about their business, positive or negative? I'd love to hear it. If you've got it, that would be good to know. The other thing is, it's okay to ask for help. phone a friend or your business coach, or pop into a mastermind group on Facebook or LinkedIn. Or, I mean, there's another app out at the moment called Clubhouse. So you may have heard of Clubhouse. We're going to run some webinars on that next month. But Clubhouse is like mastermind type of groups where you can pop in and get feedback and join conversations. So it's okay to ask for help. I feel like I have a successful business. Success is not defined by money for me. It's successful for my lifestyle and that I do great work and so on. But I have a business coach. I have colleagues that I get advice from when I have a problem. If I'm stuck, if I don't know how to answer an email, or there's a tricky colleague and I'm trying to manage that situation, I ask for help all the time. And I take no shame in that. I actually think it's a strength in my business that I know that I am only one person who's only capable of so much, and that there's other people that know the answer when I don't. Share your feelings about being stuck, because a problem shared is a problem halved. Other people might say, hey, that's happened to me too, and this is what I did. So by you showing up here today, you have shared that you want to unstick yourself a little bit. And I applaud you. This is amazing, because there's a lot of proud, stubborn business owners out there who don't feel that they want to do that. They'll just suffer alone. This is actually not about suffering. It's about, this is just something that we all need to move through together. This can also help you get some fresh ideas to break you out of your funk. Ask people, what do you think of this? And they go, I don't like it. And you go, oh, really? Why not? Oh, I didn't see it like that. Good point. There's lots of ways that you can do that. But also brainstorming can help you fuel innovation and your new ideas for your business. It could be you might have a cafe. You might be looking at new recipe ideas. Think about what it is in relation to your business and how we can help you. So if you're doing like laughter yoga sessions and you want to do personal growth classes, think about, what does your audience want? And ask other people. Ask your customers, what do you think? Would this work for you? Ask. That help that your customers can give you can really fuel your business mojo, because you go, I hadn't even thought about that. Yes, I'm going to do that. Help someone else out. I'm trying to change this a little bit, because this is a habit that I have, is if there's anyone that's having a bit of a hard time, I'll go in and try and help them and fix it. But I've also found that I'm a bit like the oxygen mask metaphor in an airplane. Put your own mask on first. I often neglect myself sometimes. So I'm trying to balance this one out a bit. But while you're in these business groups, offer your own ideas and support. Even in these chats, if there's something that you're finding that works for you. So Lynette shared what she does. She does a renewal thing. Great. Please share it, because I had not even thought of that. Send out an email of thanks or praise to a client, customer, or business contact. Something that we've done in the past is we send a thank you email to our clients to thank them and what we got out of it, that we learned something new as we went through the challenges of that job. Random acts of kindness and helping others can give you the boost. You often feel really good about helping people. There's something that's, it can be a selfish thing because you feel kind of proud of yourself, but it also can give you that boost that you're able to support and help other people. Celebrate your business. Make joy and celebration part of your business every day. I am using gratitude as something that I put something on Instagram recently, and it might have been on my private Instagram, but I just had a really satisfying day at work, and I took a photo of our building that we work in, and we'd moved into a new building space. And I remember I wrote something like, I can't believe I get to do this amazing job every day. I just felt so grateful, and I was celebrating and feeling joy in what we were achieving. I've got to say, it doesn't always feel like that, but it was a moment where I went, I really feel grateful. Success isn't about perfection, it's progression. There is no end game in my business. It changes all the time. It's a progression, but I see the successes in what we've achieved, and I feel very proud of that. And I never used to celebrate it, but boy, oh boy, do I. We have like an annual birthday thing when it's our anniversary of when we register the business with ASIC, all of those little things, because it's our birthday and we should celebrate those things, because having a small business is a real achievement. When you feel demotivated, look at how far you've come. You got through COVID and you're still here. You might not have that full spring, but go, oh my God, I actually did that. I did that. Take some pride in what you've achieved. Celebrate yourself. Start with that. Because when you look at what you've achieved, you feel motivated. You know, it's like winning a race. Sometimes you go, I could do it again. I just feel like I could, you feel proud and motivated. Take time to celebrate yourself. So now it's time to look at opportunities for growth. With a clearer vision of what you want in your business, you're now ready to look for those opportunities. When I even read over my slides, I think that seems so simple. I'm like, but it actually is. It really is. And I'm not lying when I say that I use these principles myself. I can't say that I always feel good about my business or myself because I'm a human being. But when I do need to kind of get out of those funks, I simplify. And I look at what I've done well, and I move through each of these phases myself. Talking about opportunities for growth, this is something that not everyone sees naturally. They don't see opportunity, and it's something that you need to practice and also be aware of what opportunities are. So when I talk about opportunities, it could be things like partnerships or collaborations. We'll talk through what those opportunities are. It's just about being open. Being open is because I'm very good at looking at opportunities. I'm really good at linking opportunities, seeing what pathways are possible, and I'm quite risk averse. Go, let's give it a go. Doesn't work. That's fine. What's the worst that could happen? But when you want to understand what an opportunity for your own business growth is, and growth could be personal growth, it could be, doesn't have to always be financial. Be open. Be open. So business collaborations. Consider looking for business collaborations that can support mutual benefit and growth. So it could be you might look at getting, if you have a yoga practice, maybe you want to get a specialist in to collaborate, because you can leverage off each other's marketing, but also you can learn from each other, or you can have a partner to share your journeys with. Think about that way. It doesn't have to be a firm legal document, but it could just be people bringing in different opportunities for your audiences. My partner recently did a running course because he's very, very tall and he's always struggled with running. So he went to this like outdoor gym that was created near us, where they got in a specialist running trainer for their kind of members. And while he doesn't want to go, he had sort of had no interest previously in joining this kind of larger gym group. He was drawn to it by this collaboration they did with this running expert. And then when he got to meet all the other members, he's like, I really liked that whole community. And so what that business collaboration did, it created an opportunity for that business to bring in some value for their members, but it also attracted new people. Do you understand what I'm saying about look for the opportunities by just being open? Because you go, oh, I don't want to bring in a running expert. They might take my customers. I'm like, no. They can attract more customers to you and your brand. Think about opportunity. Some people feel very closed and protective of their little patch. That's okay too. Not everyone works like that, but if you want to get your focus back and you want to kind of look at how to use those opportunities to help you move through, for me, it's always collaboration. We are collaborating with many, many, many different businesses. We collaborate with Melbourne Innovation Centre, who we absolutely love because we can provide value to their members, and it's a service we can offer, looking for those opportunities. Everyone, there's something out there for you. Just be open. Feeling closed and protective and like, oh, that's my patch, I don't want someone else to come into that. There is enough world for all of us to go around, and it feels so much better to move through it when you share it, because that's where the real growth and the magic happens. Collaborations can save you money. You can solve problems together, and it's an opportunity to learn from each other, and you can absolutely expand your networks. I collaborate all the time. I absolutely love it because I like working with different people who have different ideas. I love learning from other people. I love sharing that journey of success and failure with them. Absolutely, one of my number one tips for keeping energy in your business is collaborating. That enthusiasm that other people have. So when you're feeling a bit down, chances are that person's up. So they might be able to carry it for a little bit. Other business collaborations that you might look at. So a copywriter and a web developer. So you might be a web developer and going, I don't know how to write this. So you engage a copywriter who might look at things a bit differently about the way the layout works, or why would you put it on that page? And the web developer goes, I didn't even think of that. That was amazing. I feel so much better. So next time I'll do it this way. It could be a lifestyle product and a retail outlet. You know, across the road from my business is this fantastic kind of nutritional health store. And I went across the road yesterday to pick up a product that I really love. And I walked in there and they had all these other products I'd never seen. I was like, oh my God, these are local. And it's, oh, she's doing that now. Amazing. And it was because the product was there. I wouldn't have found it online because I wasn't searching for it, but I stumbled across it because I went to a shop. So event producers and restaurants, florists and performing arts. There's lots and lots of business collaborations and opportunities. In Bendigo at the moment, they've got the Ballarat, they've got the Begonia Festival, which is a traditional celebration. So at the town hall, they've got flower installations from some of regional Victoria's best floral designers. That collaboration brings credibility to the city of Ballarat, but also brings eyes to these floral artists. It's a collaboration. It was an idea. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then they engage some performing artists to move within those spaces. It's a great opportunity to look at different things. Event producers and restaurants, another experience that I saw about an opportunity for growth is that I'm based in regional Victoria. I'm in Kyneton, and regional Victoria was released from lockdowns 10 days earlier than Metropolitan last year. And during that period, a lovely winery out here in central Victoria engaged with a city restaurant who'd been closed all year and said, we want to do some long lunches over this period. Would you like to come up? And they're like, of course, our staff haven't been working all year. We'd love to do it. And it sold out in a weekend. 2 months worth of lunches sold out in a weekend because they saw an opportunity. How do we make money? How do we bring more people to our winery? How do we attract more tourism here? They saw an opportunity. They were open to a collaboration. And so it meant that this Fancy Pants restaurant in Melbourne and this Fancy Pants winery out in the regions were able to leverage off both their brands to bring something truly magnificent to an audience. What a wonderful experience. They were both open. So traditional pre-COVID, a lot of business are like, no, we don't do business like that. It has to be in-house, has to be our way, has to be this. Don't think the world's going to work like that very well for lots of people. Think about an opportunity. Open yourself to the idea. Some collaborations stink. I've done some stinkers, but most of them are great because you always learn something out of it. Diversify where you sell. So if you have goods and services to sell, consider diversifying where you sell them. This could be your own website, selling on social media. So if you have a product, you can buy directly from Instagram now. Etsy, Amazon, or Facebook Marketplace, Airbnb, Tucker Fox, or Menulog. Look at where you sell. Look at where your audiences might find you. I've spent so much time online in the last year because, I was renovating, homeschooling, working, and, access to information and finding out where things are. That's, you find it online. So if you have a product to sell, maybe consider diversifying your point of sale. 3, use social media more creatively. Social media changes every day, as we've realised, that anyone that works in the digital marketing space is forever frustrated by the changes, because as soon as you feel like you know the tool, something changes. Not the tool itself, but the way people use it has changed, particularly in the last year. So consider the growth opportunities by watching and learning from others online. So use the opportunity to, I won't use the word spy, I'll say do research. Do your research. Look at how other people use social media creatively. So you can use social media as a sales tool. How are other businesses using it as a sales tool? Use social media to showcase your expertise. The one thing that I've absolutely loved is that people use social media to create magazine-style content to keep audiences engaged. So let's give you an example. Makeup tutorials are a huge part of social media these days, and the kind of bite snackable pieces that people's brains can tolerate on things like Instagram and Instagram stories is where a lot of these content creators are. So traditionally in the past, we used to read magazines to get like our health and beauty tips and our makeup tips. Now we go to social media, because people who are using the content on social media, using the tool, that are creating magazine style content. You might be someone that isn't a writer and you want to share your stories about what you do. Create a magazine style that. So think about what social media is for: small snackable pieces, not long form. How might you engage an audience that way? Have a look at how other people are doing it. There's some amazing stuff out there. People are doing incredible work. You could be a photographer. It's not just about showcasing your images. Think about how a magazine produces its work. So there's stories relating to it. So it could be telling a little bit about, where you are at that given point, what the landscape's like. Using it more creatively builds an audience. Use your time. So if we go back about like using fuel, getting the fuel back, spend some research time looking at how other people do it. And you don't have to mirror or mimic it, but you can be inspired by it and understand that social media can be a sales tool. So you've got products, you can do direct sales, you can showcase your expertise, or you use it for magazine style content to keep audiences engaged. Here's a really cool one that I quite like, is the Bubble Tea Club. The Bubble Tea Club is a bit of a success story from COVID. These two young female entrepreneurs based in Melbourne, both with Asian backgrounds, living in Melbourne, really miss their bubble tea during lockdowns. So they miss the ritual of grabbing a bubble tea. And if they wanted to get a bubble tea drink through like an Uber Eats type of situation, it would cost them $20 instead of $9, because they have to pay for delivery on top of it. And they're like, we can't afford to do this. This is ridiculous. Why on earth would we spend all our money on that? And what they did is they created this fantastic product, which is a deliver and make at home bubble tea kit. And I bought some last year after I saw them on a accelerator program. I thought, what amazing entrepreneurial young women, what an incredible product. We can try it at home. They have heaps of different flavors. So what they did during COVID is they created lots and lots and lots. So they got their content, they got their branding, and they got their packaging, and they understand who their customers are, and they started marketing. And they marketed through social media, and they've got nearly 20,000 followers. But then they use TikTok as well to create how-to videos. So it's valuable. How do you drink your Bubble Tea Club drink? So they've got that. So they've created a bit of a buzz about their product, and they're doing incredibly well because not everyone can go out anymore, and a lot of people still don't. And who wants to get an $11 Uber Eats driver bill when you can do it at home? You can have your bubble tea. So that was one of the things that they looked at. So they saw an opportunity in the market and they went for it. Great little business, Melbourne based. Upcycle fashion, how you can use social media much more effectively. So there's a real shift in conversation about fast fashion, and upcycling. In fact, I've had a number of mentees. I've had 2 mentees in the time that I've been doing this program, ASBAS programming, who actually work in this space. They repurpose old garments. One specifically works in denim. So they'll find great quality denim products at op shops and they'll repurpose it into really fashionable clothes. And that's a business partnership. And there was another one that upcycles and sells it. So using social media in a creative way. So you can absolutely use Instagram as a tool to show the fashion, but you can also put price tags on it so people can actually buy it directly. So it's a way for you having an online store. You can also use TikTok to show layering. You can use the Reels function now also on Facebook and Instagram to do that, but to show the layering. Like, you know, I'm someone that prides myself on being a pretty good quality picker. When I go to an op shop, I always come out with gems. My sister goes there and she said to me, all I see is dirty old T-shirts. So some people can't see it and some people can see it. Using video content like this is really valuable to an audience because they will go, oh, all I saw was a dirty old T-shirt. Oh, actually what she's done with it, with her layering of other op shop and upcycling is inspiring. So it's like magazine content. It's educational, it's valuable. So you can use it as a direct store or you can use it as an opportunity to show what the possibilities are. So you can use tools like TikTok. Now, Instagram has created Reels into its functionality, as has Facebook. So you can use those Reels functions. If anyone's not aware of what Reels are, in short, it's an editing function. So what you can do is you, instead of slicing multiple videos together to create like an edit, like you would see on a TV show, you can do the edit within the same video function. And people have been incredibly creative. Last year was the year I discovered TikTok, and it can consume a lot of your time because if you're just sitting around watching a bit of TikTok, it can take a lot of your time because it's very addictive. But there's amazing content creators and incredible brands doing amazing things, bringing real value to an audience and making money. It's just about creativity. So it's looking for the opportunity. So use that as inspiration. Go and have a look at how other creators are doing things, going, I could do that. It's not a hugely high production value. I mean, if you look at this one here on the right, yes, you can see it's just pictures of clothes hanging on a coat hanger on the back of a door. Like, that's all it is. So just look at how other content creators use that. Final thoughts. How to get yourself back on focus. Make your business health as important as your customer and client needs. So we're going to go back to around slide 10. The most important part of your business is you. So if you're not feeling it, let's work on you. Let's get what are the things that will help you get your magic back. When I'm feeling a bit low, I will, or I find myself comparing myself to someone else. I know that I need to go back and do the work, and it's not doing it all at once, but it's really, getting back to basics, simplify, set small goals. What are my goals? What am I trying to achieve? So on and so forth. Go back and do that. Make sure you know where you stand and why you were doing it. So if one of the things that you've been hiding for a really long time is like the real financial situation that you're in with your business, address it. Just go, that's the hard job that I've got to do this week. I'm going to go and work it out, because there is great relief that comes in knowledge. It might not be the best news that you go, oh God, really, we're in that financial situation, or oh, it's better than I thought it was. There is power in that, because then you know what you need to do to move forward. Make time for yourself to rest, create, and to grow. So it's rare that you find, if you were working 24/7 on your business and weren't getting re-energized elsewhere, you wouldn't have that passion and creativity and commitment that you need to keep going. Are there any questions? Because we've whizzed through this because it's been a very quiet group today. I'm usually I've got time on my hands, but I would love to hear from you all about how did you find this presentation? Do you feel like you've got some nice basics to kind of get moving with? I found the biggest struggle I had last year was fatigue. I was absolutely exhausted because I felt like I was on a treadmill that I didn't know whether or when or how I was ever going to get off it. So I was, with my, homeschooling during the day and working in the afternoon and night to catch up, and it was very, very hard. But even during this time, I was able to focus on what was important about my business. In fact, we used COVID as an opportunity to really qualify whether what we were doing was important, because if there's no time like that to go, well, does my customer really need that or not? Catalina's saying she loved the presentation. Thank you. I can 100% relate to everything you said. There is no silver bullet. There is no magic to fixing everything. It actually comes from simply doing the work, but in small, manageable pieces. Catalina's saying I have several business positions. My business is an interesting one. I've had a really hybrid career my entire life. I've been a performing artist. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of things. And as I've gotten to my 40s, I realized I can synthesize it and bring it all into one business. I manage it. I don't know how I manage it, but I feel like I'm quite good at it. I think it's because I'm really passionate about outcomes. I am really at my best when I'm helping small business, and the small wins of my clients and the people that I work with are often my best days at work. Like last week, I got a call from an accommodation business that we work with who said, I had to turn down 80 bookings this week. And I was so delighted that we had some part in that. Like for me, that was how I keep my mojo alive, because other people's success is my success if I've had some part in it. So how I juggle it that is my motivation. I'm invested in other people and their success. I have a great team of people. So how I manage it also is my partner manages a lot of the kids stuff as well. And my business partner is equally as driven and talented. So it's really about, I'm only as capable as the people that you surround yourself with. So I don't do it all by myself. I have, my home life, I split it. My partner does, at the moment, because he's still working from home, he does most of it. And at work, I have someone that I share with who is equally driven by the exact same things that I'm driven by. And we were able to help each other out of the funk last year because we were able to share it. So we both asked each other for help. So I practiced what I preached, and this presentation is that. I hope that answers your question, Catalina. Lynette said, yes, very inspiring and great reminders and confirmation for much of what I believe in. Focus on the gratitude, positive, self-worth, a journal, do a nightly review, and I can resonate 100% to everything you said, that comparing yourself to others, judging where I am now, etc. Yeah. You know what? I still compare myself and judge people, and I catch myself, go, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? That is not good. That is not good for me. It is okay to be inspired by other people, but I find I get triggered by certain people, even, other people in the business community who I know or know of, and go, how come they're doing that? What am I doing? And then I hear that voice and I have to catch it, go, why? Like, why am I doing that? Because I'm actually really happy with my business. I'm really happy with what we're achieving. I know where we're going. I don't need to compare. We're doing our own thing. So that voice is not good for your mojo. What you are doing is super unique because you are doing it. So thank you, Lynette, for sharing that. The gratitude is a huge part of the fuel. Congratulate yourself from showing up. You all showed up today. You all made a decision that, yep, I want to get a little bit of mojo back. I am going to show up for this today. Karen is asking, my husband and I both run our own business from home, so that hasn't really affected us both, but business have taken a huge hit. I'm feeling it is up to me to get both businesses up and running, hence why I signed up for this session. Thank you so much. You've given me so much direction. Karen, that sounds like a lot. 2 businesses, I don't know how you're doing that. My advice for you as a coach is to pick your priorities in terms of immediacy. So immediacy may change for business to business. If one has more financial stability than the other, it's about weighing up which one needs the most attention. So if you're in a resuscitation mode, then make some decisions about that. If it's about where we're just trickling along but we've been hit, where will we get cash from today? And work on those type of opportunities instead of investing in a website or anything else like that. So I would triage the businesses a little bit differently. 2 is a lot. You know, it went at the beginning of COVID, my business, we lost 70% of our contracts in 3 weeks. And we were terrified. We're like, oh my goodness, whoa, 70%, how are we going to survive? And what we did is we focused on existing clients and we put all our effort into that. And then soon enough, things turned back around because people went, oh, we still need to actually get that done. We just panicked. And we were fortunate that the tide turned for us as well. But think about it in terms of steps. What do you have that can be immediately fixed? And then cross it off every day. Do your list. 3 things, 3 bad things, or 3 good things, 1 bad thing. And the bad thing might be addressing the money. The cash flow is a hard one. Folks, I'm not going to lie. The hardest thing that you have to stand in as a business owner is the soggy ground in which your business's foundations are on. And if you are not doing well because financially, don't ignore it. Because it gets harder and harder if you ignore it. Once you stand there in your truth and go, we're not doing so great, we're in debt, or we've only got $5 in the bank and we owe the ATO, whatever it is, then you can fix it. But ignoring it, you can't fix ignoring something. You can only fix things that you're truly, truly, truly able to address. So stand in the truth of your business. And don't be too hard on yourself because, well, you know, a lot of businesses struggled last year. I hope that helps. Good luck. Karen, these slides will be available through the team at ASBAS. Show your husband, work through the steps, just do bits. And then you'll find after doing lots of bits over every day, you'll go, we've actually achieved a lot. It's a much easier way to tackle it. Did you have any funding at the beginning when you decided to hire staff? So Catalina, when I started my business, I bootstrapped it. So the partnership that we're in, we all chucked in $2,000 each, and mostly that paid the accountant and the ATO to set up our business, and the rest we did it by ourselves. We won every single client. We did it. We were entirely self-made. We have, you know, working from the kitchen table. So we started off in my spare room in my house. Then we would get contractors in. There was a period where we had, you know, 3 contractors in my spare room with us, but we'd only need contractors because we wouldn't need people for big jobs because I couldn't afford staff. The decision we made when to hire staff was actually when we're at a point where we could afford it financially. And that was about financial goals because I wanted to ensure that there was enough money in the bank to pay for staff if money didn't come in. Because I'm always worried about money coming in. Like, you know, I'm like every other small business owner, I'll go, okay, have we got enough money for next month? But it's about being really clear about what money you need in a business as well. So that was when I first started, I wasn't this clear. I didn't have a goal about like how much I actually needed, but I learnt from a mistake when I was actually consulting as an independent before I started this business. I got a huge tax debt and I was terrified. I was like, well, I thought I knew money. And I was like, actually, I didn't. I didn't understand what I needed to make every single month in order to not only sustain and have a living income, but to put money aside for tax, you know, and put money aside from an accountant's fee. And, you know, you could be at the kitchen table, but you still have responsibilities outside of those overheads to the tax department. So being completely honest with myself about what was in it allowed me to set, as I've grown, to set goals and say, here's our monthly target. And if we don't reach it, we can't have all those other things like staff. So that's when we decided to hire staff, when we were able to consistently meet financial goals. So we had some money in the bank. We weren't living month to month. We were able to actually go, okay, there's money aside that we could cover salaries for 3 months. Thank you, Lynette, for your kind words in private. You're very kind. I appreciate it. Yes, business details. I can absolutely. So, and thank you everyone for lovely details. Just a bit of a reminder also about you can, if you want to reach out to me for mentoring, just reach out to the people through ASBAS and they can connect us that way. $25 for 2 hours, and we can work exactly to what your business needs. My detail, Lee Sandwith, and you can get me at the Good Hands. But for the sake of mentoring, you need to do it through the good people at Melbourne Innovation Centre. So head to their website and then you can lock in some mentoring there. I'm really passionate about this. The reason being is business is not always about money. It's about you. What do you want from it? You know, do you go, I actually, you know, in a couple of years, I actually want to work less, you know, so I'm building on it now. So maybe, you know, every Friday I can have it off and spend it with my mum or whatever I want to do. These are my goals for my business. You are your business. Think about your goals. It has to be healthy for you. So there is a survey at the top of this chat. If you could please fill this online survey out, this will help the ASBAS Digital Solutions team understand more about what we can do to support you. This program is entirely about you, and the content is here to support you. It's not always going to be digital training. We're going to have sessions like this. April and May, there's some pretty cool stuff going on. Don't know if I can announce what's happening in May, but there will be something that is along the lines of this, which will be a whole day event. You know, well-being in yourself and your business. And it's not all about, it's about well-being of your business and yourself, but there's some amazing things coming up. So keep looking at the ASBAS emails that come in. There is some really, really great courses. I'm running a few of them again this month. Let me just run through some highlights just so you know, because there's some cool stuff that we're doing this month. Let me just have a look here. Let me have a look what we're doing. We are doing, oh, wrong slide, sorry folks. Next week we're doing business goals, getting your business goals back, and we're also doing digital business trends, which is a few other ones coming up. So lots of cool stuff. April's looking really good too. I'll be running a few of the courses. So if you like the way I present, I'd love to have you back, because it's always good to have interested and engaged audiences, because this is all about you. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you've got any other questions, I'm going to be here for a few more minutes. But otherwise, have a beautiful day. Do something for yourself today. Maybe go and search the podcasts on your iPhone. Look at different ways to inspire yourself. Is this your Lisha, is this your looking for what courses are available, what webinars are available? Francisco, are you able to help with that? What link that would be for people to find what courses are coming up? Thanks everyone. It's been really wonderful, and thanks for all the kind private messages I've received. It's always really great to get feedback, and I love doing this. I love helping small business, and I hope that, you know, even if there was one nugget of truth that was, you know, came to you today, that would be helpful. Oh, at the top of the screen, Lisha, Francisco has put the Eventbrite of all the upcoming events. So if you want to click on that, we'd love to have you. Amazing stuff coming up. We always try and vary up the content and try and keep it current to what's happening. And there's some great presenters, not just me. I think there's also some really fantastic stuff on rebranding and your visual presence. What does that mean? So have a look, engage with it. It's here for you. This is all for you. Amazing program. And I've used it myself because I'm eligible as a small business in Victoria. I've used mentoring program through here. So I can't celebrate it enough. I feel very grateful for it. So thanks again, everyone. I'm going to finish my cold cup of tea and take a walk around the block and then maybe do some more work this afternoon. I hope you'll do something beautiful for yourself and get some energy back into your body, ready to start some small lists and one big job. Brooke, my capacity is kind of a bit full at the moment, but if you want to send me an email, I'm just going to pop this here. We can look at what we can do. Yeah, we are sort of a bit at capacity at the moment, but we do offer some mentoring programs with outside of this program. But my preference at this stage is to stick and continue doing it with ASBAS people, but we can look at how we might be able to support you outside of that. Good luck. Yeah, there's lots and lots of different programs out there. Take what you can. This is all about business success. We're not all kind of like saying, don't go to that program or don't go to that program. Do whatever helps your business thrive. This is all about helping you to succeed in yourself and your business and be happy. That's what it's all about. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, folks, unless anyone has any more questions. But please enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for joining us. And don't forget the survey. Click on that link before we close it down, and we'll speak to you again. All the best. Have a great afternoon.